Hey y'all! So today I'm here for another Top 5 Wednesday video. This series was created by Ginger Reads Lainey, and I will leave links in the description to her channel and to all of the Top 5 Wednesday bloggers and vloggers. I wasn't going to make a Top 5 Wednesday video this week because I couldn't really figure out what authors to choose for the authors that I would most like to meet. So the topic I'll be doing this week is the one from this time last year, which is Top 5 Classics. So starting off the list at number 5, we have Anthem by Ayn Rand. I read this my freshman year of high school, and it was actually probably one of the first dystopian books that I read, and it was definitely the first classic dystopian that I read. And I really liked it, and it was really interesting to see this version of the future where no one knows the word I. Not that they don't know what it means, but that they've never heard or used the word I. Everything is we. No one really has a name. They have a number. And it's just so interesting. And this is kind of what got me interested in dystopian novels in the first place. And I kind of want to reread it because I remember most of the plot, but it's been such a long time since I've read it that I just feel like I need to reread it. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the Poirot series by Agatha Christie. This is a stand-in for the entire, I think, 39 book series, but I actually haven't read this one yet. Anyway, I have read maybe 10 books from the series, and I absolutely love all of them. Poirot is such an interesting and cool detective, and he just has this really unique way of solving crimes. He's just so clever, and I absolutely love all of Agatha Christie's novels that I've read. And like I've said in previous videos, she's one of my favorite authors. And this was one of the series that I included in my 30 books to read by the time I'm 30. So I really want to have all the books read in the series by the time I'm 30, which shouldn't be too hard since that's, like 9.5 years away. Also, this is a series where you can kind of read it in any order. So the one I started with was Murder on the Orient Express, which is probably the most well-known Poirot novel. But you can really start anywhere. I also really like the ABC Murders. So those are a couple suggestions of where to start, but like I said, you can start anywhere. Coming in at number 3 on my list is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I had to read this for English my senior year of high school, and generally I didn't do my English readings. I would just kind of like get by the discussions that we had in class and spark notes. But I actually read this one because it sounded interesting, because the fact that I enjoyed dystopians, and I just really loved it. I read this in like maybe a day and a half, and it's definitely my favorite book that I had to read for school by far. As with all dystopians, it's such an interesting take on the future, and it's such an interesting world that he's created, and I think that's my favorite part of dystopians is the world building, and the world building was just really interesting in this one. So yeah, I love classic dystopians, and this is one of the better ones in my opinion. Number 2 on my list is 1984 by George Orwell. Honestly, 1984 and Brave New World are kind of interchangeable for me, but the reason that this one beat out Brave New World by just a little bit is because it hits home with me more. Because I would hate to live in this world more than I would hate to live in the world of Brave New World. I think that this world is absolutely terrifying, and I can understand why people who read this before 1984 were terrified after reading it. Because a world where not only is freedom of speech not a thing, but you're brainwashed into believing opposing pieces of information, and it's just so incredibly well done, and I really liked this. And coming in at number 1 on my list should be no surprise, it's And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I know I already put Agatha Christie on this list, but this is like my favorite book. Like I said in the past, this mystery is just so well constructed and so complex, and I just absolutely love it. I don't know what else to say. It's my favorite standalone book, and like I've said, it reads a lot easier than you would think a book written in the 30s would read. I flew through this, and like, obviously, I absolutely love it. I've read it like 15 times at this point, and I will probably continue to reread it for the rest of my life. It's just a really great book, and I love it. So there you go, those are my top 5 favorite classics. I don't typically read a ton of classics, so I didn't have a ton to choose from, but I do really enjoy all 5 that I've shown you today. I hope to read more classics in the next year and maybe in the next few years, because there are several that are on my TBR and that I think I will really enjoy. Also, for my Top 5 Wednesday next week, I will be doing the same thing as this week, where I use the topic from last year, because next week's topic is Top 5 Anti-Heroes, and I haven't really read many books, if any, with anti-heroes in it. So I don't really have any to choose from. So like I said, I will be doing the last topic in January from last year next week for my Top 5 Wednesday, and hopefully after that I will resume doing Top 5 Wednesdays on the week that they're supposed to be done. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, check out my blog, I'll put a link in the description. Add me as a friend on Goodreads. I'm always accepting friends on Goodreads. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. Bye!